All right, thanks for joining us. You're listening to State of Arrest. I got Bill Dorenzo, Chris O'Toole, I'm William Moore. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're talking about kind of a hot topic, I guess, especially in light of the woman that was arrested in Disney World, the elderly woman, CBD oil.
Hot topic.
Go arrest my mom and my dogs because she gives it to them, right?
Yeah.
CBD oil.
She got arrested.
Sorry, Mom, Sandra.
70 years old.
Right.
Not a notice to appear, an arrest.
The officer claimed that he thought that it might have been hash oil.
What was it? CBD oil, right?
CBD oil, which is it's a hemp derivative, contains 0.03 THC, so it tests positive.
Yes,
for Valtox
that was the
kids.
thing.
Cousin of cannabis.
When they Valtoxed it, it tested positive for THC. So that's when she went to jail.
You know, in a changing society, when lawmakers make something legal, or in this case, the bottom line, they want to make CBD oil legal to further increase our agricultural business. There's no doubt about that. That's stated right in the passing of the bill.
That's
or
what's
attempting to
driving
pass
it,
the
yeah.
bill. But, you know, there's some talk about how law enforcement is going to have to change their method of testing, their street testing, if this tests positive.
Right, now the test they use just sees if there's any THC content, and with CBD oil it's going to have some, so now you get arrested.
Couldn't this come back to based on training and experience, a green leafy substance? I saw CBD oil, it looked just like hash oil. What?
You would think that's common sense, so it's
Yeah,
too
right,
easy, right?
Right, because maybe I don't really know what it looks like. I think it looks like e-cig juice, doesn't it?
Well, you remember when we used to take the evidence back?
Back in
When we were prosecutors?
back when we were prosecutors.
The green leafy
Huh?
substance?
What? What?
I guess you didn't,
But
your memory is fading.
Lock this drawer over
Hold
here.
on, the only time you would take the evidence back is if you got a not guilty verdict.
20 years ago, you could take the evidence. That's the bottom line. You could. We never did, but you could.
But you only
Some
took
of us
the
did.
evidence
All
when
right,
you got
I
a
did.
not guilty verdict. If you got a guilty
But
verdict,
that
they would have
evidence
to
was
hold
so
on
cool,
to
and we
it.
didn't make any
Minor
money.
details.
Firearms,
Yeah,
clothing,
those.
knockoff, Gucci's.
Oh yeah, the fire
Shoes.
sales I had in my office.
Holy smoke.
They said we had to burn
Green
the
leafy
evidence.
substances.
So sometimes we burn the green leafy substance.
Well, used
Wait.
to let us walk back from trial carrying that stuff without an escort.
No, I remember that, yeah.
And we didn't have to write a
And-
report.
We had an evidence locker, and we were supposed to
Did
put it
we?
in the evidence locker.
It was,
Yes,
it
we
was
were
a
supposed
pool's
we were
office
supposed
with
to
the
do
evidence
it.
locker.
We were supposed to put it in the evidence locker.
It's like, picture an episode of hoarding, except everything that the person hoards is in thick Ziploc baggies with evidence stickers all
That's
over it.
funny.
That was what it was like. Hey, Chris, we thought you had a problem with hoarding, but now we just see that you have all this evidence that you haven't gotten around to take back to the locker.
No, that was a
Oh, is
Smith
that
trial.
is that a Colt?
That's a cold.
Yeah, the good old days, man. There was no regulation whatsoever. DUIs were tossed all the time.
Yeah.
Prosecutors would do favors. That stuff ain't around anymore. But
You know what else there wasn't around? CBD oil wasn't around back then.
That's
wasn't
true.
it, was it?
Well, apparently it's gonna be legal pretty soon,
When's that going to be legal?
July 1st. I don't know.
Federally, it's already
Federally,
legal,
it's already legal, yeah.
right. Policing actions in Florida have been directed at the manufacturers, not so much the public. This would have been a great case to take up with this woman.
I'm sure she's got a lot of lawyers trying to take her case.
Yeah, they were already filing lawsuits for the arrest. But if it's illegal in Florida, you know, that's the thing, the separation of the federal government and state government. If the federal government doesn't make the state change their laws, which they often don't, then you could have, you know, we saw this with the legalization of marijuana. It's
Yeah.
illegal federally, kind of a reversey here.
It's reversey.
It's a
exactly.
reversey.
That's right.
What's going on? I'm telling you, the feds and the state, they don't like getting along when it comes to lawmaking.
Well, now after July 1st, they're going to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
And
no more reversey.
I think they're gonna have to change their test kits then.
Yeah, because right now the kids just test if there's yes or no
Yeah.
cannabis,
yeah.
right?
I think any presence of cannabis, the test kit will pick it up, right?
Here's the thing. Would the test kit pick it up if it's a .03? That's what the officer said. Now, Orlando's looking into what they're gonna do, getting better kits. That
Yeah.
opens up the door for privatization, right? We should develop some of those kits ASAP.
Well, that opens the door for the mayor's brother to develop a nice kit.
You know, I bought a ton of steering wheel locks and boots for cars, and I'm gonna jump on this immobilization for 10
Immobilization.
days. I'm gonna lobby that everybody should be immobilized,
That's right.
right?
Even on the
You
first.
have to be immobilized if you go into a bar. And then I'm buying it.
I like that
Right.
idea.
I'm telling you, it's so ridiculous. It's all privatization, right? Isn't that how that law got passed? And somebody buy a bunch of those bars
Yep.
and they can't push for it. It's ridiculous.
Sure.
But okay. So in the meantime, here's what Orlando PD is doing. If an officer's on the scene and they find something, some oil that could be hashish, and it tests positive, they need to call a sergeant. Did your microphone fall down?
It's just, yeah, it just
They have to call sergeant?
Oh, we'll have to get Tech Narrow. Don't even try.
just lost a little bit on the mic.
Yeah,
A
that's
little duct tape.
just,
All right,
you got it.
we got it. We're good.
Bill, speak like you do when you're in court. Damn it, Judge.
I've seen Bill do that. I've seen him.
No, you can't do that in court. You can't do that in court.
I've seen it.
If you had to bet, as a defense attorney, which prosecutor Bill has it out with the most? Cut. Cut.
I don't think I
Okay,
have it
so-
out with any of the prosecutors.
So yeah, it's gonna
Feels
be
like
legal.
he's like the mayor of
It's
Broward
gonna make my
County.
mom happy and
They all
everybody
love
else. You know, there's been there's no research on this stuff because the FDA doesn't test, still isn't testing.
I've used it.
Now-
I've used CBD on joints, things like that, and it does reduce swelling.
No, it's a
I'll tell you
topical.
That's what it's for,
that.
right?
I'll tell you, it does work.
Right.
But you know, do I get high from it? No.
Put an
Listen,
oxy
but the
patch
CB
on that, that's topical.
The CBD
I
oil,
like that actually a lot better.
the CBD
Do they
oil,
have
you
oxy
can
patches?
buy that from the store, right? You can get that over the
You
counter,
know, I
right?
went to go see Louis Anderson, and I didn't think it was gonna be that funny. And he was talking about how he had pain, and he was putting those oxy patches on.
That's funny.
And he went to his doctor, and he's like, "You make a jacket?"
An oxy body glove.
An oxy body glove. Yeah, leave it to our pharmaceutical companies to make lollipops of OxyContin, right? Hey, that's good for the kids.
Oxycontin candy.
It's good for the kids, right? If the
Right.
kid gets it, don't go in there, Sonny.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom. You better listen to me. You don't want.
Wouldn't take very long with the kids.
A lot of pain.
A lot of pain.
Right? And then her eyes roll back. She falls back, scoops out, and then Sonny goes in. And,
Want a lick? Psych.
yeah, and you know they don't stop with just one. The next thing you know, where's Sonny? He's under that pile of foam.
Just like the drug manufacturer wanted it. Right?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Because what happens? More people want it when it's potent enough to kill you.
Oh,
Right. And
not that I've ever tried.
right.
But
Well,
Never.
swing
had.
by.
Never had an
Swing by.
80.
Hold on a second.
Anyway,
We'll do some market research.
I like that.
Bill wants to protect his bar license too much.
I'm just listening.
So right now, the Fed, is it legal, even if there's 3% or more in it? What's the federal law?
I think it's that weak, just as a matter of course, the way it's extracted.
It can't be
You
more
don't-
potent.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Okay.
something that you can mess with like that. And when it's made legal, it's gotta be grown by legal
But
means.
this is over-the-counter stuff that you can go into a store and buy, right?
Has to be sourced legally
Yeah.
through verified
Right.
agriculture.
Well, I mean, you see it everywhere, or is that some type of knockoff? It's,
Well, I'm sure they make it in China and ship it here as if it's the real thing.
I'm telling you, my mom buys it for her dogs.
Is it in Chinese writing or?
I mean, usually when I'm going through my mom's medicine cabinet, I skip right over the CBD oil.
Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got my eye on the prize.
Things
It's
that
funny,
need
I mean,
codone.
just
Oh
go
my
into my
God.
parents' house
Yeah.
and thinking about that medicine cabinet.
Get
My
you.
joints, that's topical. It's totally topical. You know, not a little bit off topic, but since we're talking about drugs, this subject came up the other day. I guess there were some people in Detroit that were they had this party, and they were young professionals, and they got a cylinder, not from a dentist, but from a taxidermist, of nitrous oxide,
Oh.
and they were doing ooh. Bill, what would we do without Bill?
That's not a good idea.
No?
That's not a good idea.
I thought that was a whoa, like he was having flashbacks.
No.
I think it was no.
Right.
Yeah, that's a no.
Gotta do
Bill.
limits, you know?
That's a no.
If hippies don't die with the balloons at dead shows, I think it's a relatively safe kid drug. But
Right.
selling it in that kind of quantity, I guess there's no trafficking in nitrous, and the penalties. We've been doing this a long time. Between us, we've probably handled 10, 20, not to trial,
Yeah.
but tens of thousands
Yeah.
of cases.
Yeah. At
60
least-
years plus between us. How many of y'all have represented a client charged with inhaling nitrous or possessing nitrous?
Not one.
No.
I handled a case where there was an inhaling case, but it was some idiot that was inhaling.
Bill Clinton?
Yeah, Bill Clinton. You know, if I have to represent another president, this guy was inhaling the stuff that you clean the keyboards with.
Oh,
press
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I think, man, you violated probation for that. But
No way.
never nitrous. But here's the thing.
Wow.
All right, and I'm kind of turns lawyer, William Moore, lawyer turned scientist or whatever.
You've always been a scientist. You
I've
didn't
always
turn
been
it,
a
yeah, you didn't
scientist.
turn one.
It's a very scientific mind.
Slash scientist.
Right. I don't even know my times tables, but
It's also good with technology too.
Except
well,
microphones.
If
I listen to a lot of music.
yeah,
So
that'll do it.
the thing is that you
Computers.
can get your hands on nitrous. It's the same stuff dentists use. I don't know if you've ever been to a dentist.
I've never done that.
No,
I've always
I've never
gone the
done that
old-fashioned
either.
way.
Well, you would think you have to get a cylinder or go to a dentist and whatever.
You
but
can get those over the counter?
you can get them over the counter, so to speak, because, all right, there's legal nitrous. It has got sulfur oxide in it, which is used to speed up cars. Nitrous, Fast and the Furious. But you can't suck on that and get
You
high
die.
because well, you wouldn't die. It's just so disgusting. You'll vomit and turn green.
Okay.
It's got that sulfur additive. You get
All right.
sick.
It's probably
But
on
there's
purpose.
medical grade nitrous oxide sold at restaurant shops, and get this, because this is where I'm going to make a correlation. I have discovered the correlation between Broward County's oversexed and obesity problem. And stay with me here. You can buy medical grade nitrous oxide in the form of little canisters that are used to make whipped cream and whipped cream chargers. So, if you're using it to make whipped cream, no problem. But it's the same stuff that's illegal. It's a scheduled drug.
So it's like a pipe. It depends on the purpose for it. Is that what it is?
Ah.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Is it
that
paraphernalia or
ambiguity.
not?
Right.
With nothing in it, it's nothing.
And it falls back on, well, are you inhaling it? So you've got to be caught in the act inhaling it.
Wow.
How does that happen?
Is that what the statute says? Or is that the law?
Well, I mean, you can get busted for possessing it. The thing is that if you possess it in a cylinder and you're not a dentist and don't have the right to possess a cylinder full of nitrous oxide,
You can
medical
say-
grade, right?
Maybe you're a
You're
dentist in
busted.
Hialeah, though.
What?
Maybe you're a dentist in Hialeah. In the garage.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna
I'll
look into
explain another
dentist.
time.
I know, but
He said,
look
"I
me
don't
up
know
with
what
that
that
dentist.
means." That's
Okay, so, but but then you're busted, right? What are you doing with this? I was gonna work on my own teeth or something.
Right.
Right, and, but you can buy these cream chargers, they're called Whippets, and,
How big are they?
oh, I don't know, I've seen them on the internet, they're exactly this
Yeah,
big.
I wouldn't think you
And
had
some of them come in
knowledge.
white, and you screw them into this cream charger, right, but you don't put any of the stuff to make cream in it, you just leave it hollow, and you fill up a balloon, or just right out of the canister. And then the next thing you know, you're high-wasted for seconds.
Okay.
Euphoric wasted, you may even pass out. Okay?
It's like when we were kids, little whippets, like that, right? Or is that
Exactly.
Did everybody do the
We were
whippets when we were kids?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I thought we
It's the
did.
same exact
Yeah, I
stuff,
got you.
right? So you can go buy this
Just
stuff, and
build
now
it.
I don't
what's
know what that
happening
is. I don't know what you guys
is
are talking about.
a you've never had some hippie walk up to you at a dead show.
I've never been to a dead show.
And he's never lost a case as a prosecutor.
What about
therefore he's never had
Sepultura
evidence
with
in his
Slipknot?
store,
That's
apparently.
true.
Mushroom Head.
Never been to a Dead show before.
Right, all right.
All right.
Well.
Zach Brown,
me either.
Dierks
I've never
Bentley.
even listened to, I mean,
Sorry.
my be friends in St. Augustine will kill me, but, you know.
Ryan is the music man.
Not when it comes to Jerry Garcia. I remember when I was in a punk band, we had a song that was called I'll Be Grateful When They're Dead. Now, probably turning off a lot of our listeners, but you may need me sometime. So, yeah, you can, these porn stores, now there's a porn store, when I say porn store, you're about the adult bookstore, right?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't?
I don't know. I don't know what's going
That's
on.
our little fit. That's when we know somebody's lying.
You mentioned
That-
porn.
That's a
That's the
new
line.
feature. It's working. Gosh, we paid a lot of money for that. I guess when you reach a certain threshold.
All right, you got me.
All right, okay.
You got me.
So,
I thought that meant the show was over.
25% of the revenues from a adult bookstore that sells novelties, toys, sex toys, books, DVDs, whatever, is making such an amount of their income comes from selling cream chargers, because they're marketing these things as you put whipped cream all over your partner and lick it off.
That I've
and
done.
even the cream charger shows some naked girl with whipped cream all over her chest. Okay, and they're selling this by the case, right? So, I have started conducting some analytical data, because if people are having sex in Broward and need this much whipped cream, we can forget about fast food and all the health problems it's causing, because a case of cream chargers could fill this room up with whipped cream, and there's people
Interesting.
licking it off their lovers. No. 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 How much fun is that?
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
could you imagine?
Looked like you were
Right.
reminiscing a little bit there.
Reminiscing. I was reminiscing about. I was trying to reminisce, like going back to when I was in a freshman in high school, and I think that I had like gotten to like more, you know, interesting levels and
Ah.
licking whipped cream off of my girlfriend.
It was an 80s thing.
Yeah. My parents
Oh
are so
my
screwed up,
God.
right? It was an 80s thing.
It was.
Right. They were a little heavy set in the 80s. But I bet it wasn't from licking whip. I don't even want these visuals in my head.
No, I get it.
Right.
We need that buzzer. Where's that buzzer again?
Hit the buzzer again.
I was raised in the
Hit the buzzer
It's
again.
not a buzzer, it's a lie detector.
Oh, sorry, lie detector.
All
Lie
right,
detector.
all right. Right, yeah, so that's an interesting thing. That whippets have been sold forever, but now CBD oil, you know, it's a strange thing. I think it is good to clear that up. I think it gets some uniformity, not only with the federal government, but the fact that we've got legalized medical marijuana. Apparently it's helping people get off some heavy drugs. Get some testimony to that.
I think that's a good thing.
The placebo effect goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Right? Right.
Right.
So after July 1st, we can walk around with CBD oil.
Oh, yeah. it's
In
Fourth-
Florida?
Yeah,
We're
4th
good.
of July's gonna be banging.
Okay.
I did the math. At 0.03% THC, if we bathed and just drank nothing but maybe a little spiked CBD oil,
We can get high.
we get high,
All right.
right?
Is that
You can't get
legal?
arrested.
Okay.
Well,
We're good.
I mean, I don't know.
Ossifer,
No.
I had only
That would definitely stop
0.3%.
us. Hey guys, thanks for coming down.
You got it.
I'll see you next week.
Very good.
Right on. You've been listening to State of Arrest. We got Bill Dorenzo, Wild Bill Dorenzo, Chris O'Toole, who activated the lie buzzer.
I brought it in.
You brought it in. And that's why I kept quiet when it came to frequenting adult novelty stores, because I didn't want to get buzzed. Good night, everybody. I'm William Moore.